on, brother.
You know it's hard out here for a pimp when he trying to get this money for the rent, for the Cadillacs and gas money spent. We'll have a whole lot of bitches jumping shit. You know it's hard out here for a pimp when he tryna get this money for the rent, for the Cadillacs and gas money spent. Will cause a whole lot of jumping shit. You know it's hard out here for a pimp when he tryna get this money for the rent, for the Cadillacs and gas money spent. Will have a whole lot of jumping shit.
What's going on, party people? It's your man, 50 Grand, the Godfather, Nate Milton, and you are about to listen to another excellent episode from the Nefarious Media Network. Since January of 2025, we have been putting it down for the crown, and we've been committed to bringing you truthful, thoughtful, turned-up commentary as it pertains to the worlds of sports, politics, pop culture, pro wrestling, entertainment, and life. Yes, life. This thing that we are all just trying to get through day by day. An electric word called life, as the man used to say. And that brings us to the drive for 500. Yes, 500 YouTube subscribers, which gets us halfway to monetization, and 500 Patreon subscribers. Patreon.com/Nefarious Media Network. That's our stretch goal for the year. Because if we hit those marks, it allows us the flexibility and the freedom and the funds, quite honestly, to do some more things here at the network, to be more consistent with our shows, to bring you new shows, and to bring some people on to help with production. So if you believe in us, man, if you believe in what we're doing here, because we got a lot of hard-working people, myself included, working 50, 60 hours a week at the shoot jobs, got families, got kids, got responsibilities, but we still do this, man, because we love this and we believe in this. And if you believe in us and you love the shows that we do, help us out, man. Help a brother out. Help a sister out. That's all we asking, because we are trying to change the game by any means necessary, even if those means may be nefarious.
This is the Parley, a place where guests are required to put their money where their mouth is, where we double down on the discourse and conversation. That's the only currency accepted. Proudly presented by the Nefarious Media Network.
What's going on, party people? Ladies and gentlemen, people all over the world, it is time, once again, as I adjust my camera. I'm my own cameraman on these streets. Somebody's got to do it. Somebody's got to do it. But yes, this is the Parley, proudly presented by the Nefarious Media Network. And as that lady said off the top, this is the place where conversation is the key currency that flows around these parts. So let's not waste any time. As the fellas know, and we'll get to it in a second. I slid in much like Eddie Kane Jr. at the beginning of the 5 Heartbeats for this episode, and we'll get to that. But I, of course, am the Godfather Nate Milton, your favorite podcaster over a decade in the game. And ain't a damn thing changed. And I am joined by the rest of the crew here tonight. First of all, let's bring on the super producer himself, a man with all of the hits of one P. Diddy Puff Daddy Combs, but with none of the allegations, folks. 0 allegations. This brother is a clean sheet. Y'all give it up for the man who is so proficient at production that people call him the Caitlin Clark of podcast productions, a.k.a. Caitlin Dark. Y'all give it up for the man on the ones and twos. Two-way Ray Williams. Ray Williams, what's good, brother?
Oh, everything's all good, brother. Everything's all, what's the deal? Everything's kosher, baby. I'm just living life. And you know what? Can we go back, Brother Nate? This is the moment. Tonight is the night. We'll fight till it's over. So we'll put our hands up like Chris Ely can't hold us. Like Chris Ely can't hold us, brother.
I only have one thing to say to that, Ray Williams.
It was that.
V-Grow, please. But always good to catch up with you, Ray. But we are not alone. If my eyes weren't deceiving me, I think I saw one of our favorite tag teams here on the network backstage.
Indeed. Well, this brother couldn't join us for the last parlay, but we're glad that we were able to get him. I guess he tagged out. So Brother Jay tagged out from last episode, and now in steps his tag team partner. Like you always say, he could be uptown, he could be midtown, he could be around town, he could be in your town.
Your town.
He's downtown, Gerard Brown.
How y'all doing?
What's good, brother?
Pirate
I am
Luffy.
freezing. Hey. But you know, I'm part of the Straw Hat crew. I need to feel some warmth in the air because we are currently in the middle of a snowstorm in Michigan, and so I need to feel that sun. I need to feel like I'm on a boat sailing somewhere mystically. So I'm with this crew tonight to talk about some Survivor Series results, to dive into one of my Chopper on the crew, one of my favorite doctors. Who potentially. We're going to dive into all that later on. So, I don't want to see nobody thunder, but, man, good to be up here with y'all and to feel the warmth and the energy.
See, this right here, ladies and gentlemen, this man, Gerard Downtown Brown, this is why you need to not only be tapped into the audio portion of what we do in Nefarious, but the video as well, because it complements the audio when you see this brother dressed so splendiferous as he is this evening. And do we have one more person joining this motley crew? Ray Williams.
Well, that person, he'll be joining us a little later on. He was getting prepared with us earlier. He's going to do a running, a surprise.
Was it Chris? Chris, stay. Okay, Chris. Look, now I'm putting family business on these streets because we love this man, the Professor Chris Ely, who will be joining us later. But Chris always do this thing where he is with us when we set up these shows, and then like 2 minutes before we go on, all right, y'all, I got to go teach class. Like, why didn't you tell us you had class tonight, brother? And then he show up an hour later. All right, class is over. What we talk about?
Like this, trying to get it all in, though.
But yeah, real quick, before we get into what we got to talk about, because we got a lot of great subjects that Gerard alluded to. We're going to talk about some of our favorite doctors this week on the program. We're going to look back at Survivor Series War Games and talk about what our thoughts were on some of that card. We're going to, of course, feed some ducks down at the pond. But I also want to get into this Lane Kiffin topic because I can't wait until the next Kings of Sport to talk about this man. Lane, take the money and run Kiffin on these streets. So we're going to get into that as well. But before we get into that, as I alluded to, man, I pulled an Eddie Kane Jr. from the 5 Heartbeats just to get here tonight. Y'all don't remember this movie, The 5 Heartbeats. I'm sure Ray hadn't seen it because Ray don't see nothing.
Stop
it. And my office hours are between till 5.
Gerard Brown is a man of culture. He has seen the work of Robert Townsend. Have you seen it, Ray?
I have seen it, yes.
Okay. I'll let it slide this time. That's how I slid into the program. Much like Eddie Kane Jr., the Five Heartbeats had a gig. They were in a battle of the bands, and Eddie Kane Jr. was out playing poker, shooting craps with the boys. He's like, "Oh damn, I got to be at the show." And he takes the money, and they shooting, and they running after him. And then the Heartbeats is like, "Where's Eddie at? Anybody seen Eddie? Where Eddie at, man? He always late." And then Eddie bursts through the side door and just grabs the microphone. Oh, is there a heart in the house tonight? Stand up. You got to have love. Come on, fellas, let's do it like we did in the subway train. Boom, 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 boom. Because I literally just got in the door from work, man. I still got my work pants on. Still got my work shoes on. The only thing I changed was my hat and my shirt. And I threw a little water on my face to get presentable. And I told Ray and them, go ahead and start the show. I'll be there by the time the intro ends. And I made it. Fortunately, we didn't have no technical difficulties, knock on wood. But this is the kind of commitment that we have for y'all, the people out there, man. It don't matter what we're going through in our everyday lives. We are committed to the goal and the mission of Nefarious, which is to bring you truthful, thoughtful, and turned up commentary on the world as it is, and not how some people will try to tell you it is. So to that aim, if you want to help us out, if you would like to, spread the love, if you will, this is the season of giving, Ray. Mm-hmm. There is an easy way you can do that, and that is by helping us and joining us on the drive for 500 Patreon subscribers is one of our stretch goals, because that'll allow us to do a lot of different things here at the network, from bringing on various people to help behind the scenes, to bringing on new teammates, to launch new shows, to upgrading our equipment. And making the Patreon feel really special, because right now the Patreon is just, I'm gonna be real with the people, Ray. I ain't gonna lie to the people. The Patreon is special, but it ain't as special as it could be. True. With all these exclusive shows and things we want to do. Like maybe we want to do a live Twitch of Ray one night playing Blitz the League or something like that. That's the type of stuff you can get on the Patreon. Maybe we want to do a live watch of some of these WWE PLEs that, or these AEW PLEs even more. You know what? AEW PLEs is going to be Patreon exclusive, because if we got to stay up for 8 hours watching these damn shows, that's going on the Patreon behind the paywall, ladies and gentlemen. But we want to do more things with this platform that we have, that we're building, that we're forming here. And so if you want to help us, man, if you dig what we're doing, if you appreciate, not only myself, but everybody here on the team, we'd appreciate it if you spare a little cash, man, little cash for us during this holiday season. And if you already subscribe to the Patreon, then the next best thing you can do is share the show with your friends. And that includes sharing our social media links, sharing the YouTube channel, which some of y'all are watching live tonight with us, because 500 subscribers gets us halfway to YouTube monetization, man. So, I know money is not the be all and end all. It's not what drives Ray. I can't speak for Ray. Ray may be a very selfish and worldly man. But I know it's not what drives me. It's not what drives Gerard or Jay or even Chris or Jennifer Smith or Brittany Monet, Steve Willie, Andrew Thompson, the youngest in charge, Maria, Sister Maria, OG Rachel, like Chi-Chi Okafor. So many people on the network besides Ray Williams. Money ain't the thing that drives us, man. It's the love of the game. But with that being said, sometimes love ain't enough. You know what I mean? Love ain't enough to keep them lights on, Ray Williams.
True.
Ain't nobody ever paid a doctor's bill with love, Gerard Brown. Maybe they have. People do exchange favors for services, but we see that now. Now I'm going on a weird tangent.
Ejectocito, cuz.
Ejectocito, cuz. Where you at, Ray?
Do it late.
But basically, man, if y'all dig what we doing, man, keep rocking with us. We are almost to our 1 year mark in January. It'll be a year since we made the transition, the change to Nefarious, and we've been real pleased and grateful for the fact that so many folks is riding with us. But we know we can reach even more people. So help us out, man. Help us help you, so we can all help each other. And with that being said, let's go from.
Better leave them now.
But you can bring me out, Ray, because we going from talking about people helping people to people fighting on these streets to people getting into battles, Gerard, people getting into conflicts, people getting into war games, if you will.
Mm.
Let's go to San Diego, California, talk about Survivor Series War Games. Your latest in the line of WWE PLEs available on the exclusive all-new ESPN app. Let's start with you, Gerard, since you are one of the tag team partners of Ring Theory here at Nefarious. We can go match by match here in a little bit, but what were your overall thoughts on the entirety of Survivor Series this year?
I love the fact that I have a VPN. And so like that experience alone is nice, but when I feel like I have to fast forward, because I sometimes pause the show. So between matches, I'd pause, go handle my business, go cook something up in the kitchen, go grab a snack, come back to the couch. And when it's just like, it's that weird, awkward music that they have, and it's just the superstars like looking at the screen, panning them, like, what are we doing with this time? Like, why do we have 4 match cards if this is what we gonna do with all this time? Like, this is, I get the cage got to go up and go down, but like, I've seen better. I've seen you all do this faster. I've been there at War Games during this regime and seen you all move faster. What are you doing? What are we doing here? Come on now. So I pacing wise, I needed more from the show, but it was cool. It was cool. I will dive into my thoughts a little bit later when we get into match by match, but
okay.
I think the builds had some room to improve upon some stuff, and I also think, especially for the men's match, because to have that kind of lineup going in and that to be the match you produce is just not it. You have your men's world and WWE champion in there, and that's what I don't know. I've got my thoughts, and especially when we have Blood and Guts not so long away,
yes,
and still kind of fresh in the mind. It hurt both matches, men's and women's both, on this card, and I definitely sat here playing the comparison game pretty much the entire time watching the show. Of okay, let's see how we do this. Oh, okay, we're gonna do that. Okay, we're not doing the cage either, like AEW did. Okay, cool. All right, we're both getting rid of the cages, but also I didn't think about the fact that we're not gonna have Brock just standing in the cage. I hear you. I hear you. That maybe a future, but well. Anyway, moving past that, it just it was an okay card, and okay. I enjoy wrestling. I love having wrestling on the TV, and I love seeing it in a cool setting. So like seeing AJ Lee coming out with the sunrise, like with the sunset in the background and the beautiful views and the way they were kind of shooting stuff. I love a lot of that from this show. Like, I think they have improved a lot of what they do presentation wise, but it's rest on our laurels, like pat ourselves on the back booking half the time. And that's in the storylines coming up. And sometimes what we produce in the matches too, not feeling this is a stadium show. Give me a stadium show quality match. I don't feel like there was one single match on this card that was stadium show worthy.
Okay.
How about you, Ray?
Well, I agree with that. And I think when the most exciting thing coming out of a show is Paul Heyman pushing down a little kid backstage after the cameras go off, that's how you know something was just missing. Full transparency, like I watched clips here and there of the show. Didn't get a chance to watch the full show, but from what I saw, I just thought
your nefarious means wasn't working at night, Ray.
No, Not that night. At least, I didn't want it to work because I was tired that night. I need this, especially for them trying to stretch a four match show for like 3-4 hours. Like, yeah, I wasn't feeling it. So, but I did catch some clips here and there, and it's surprising that they also started airing like the finishes to matches on their YouTube channels. So that's crazy. Again, I think we kind of talked about it either here on the Parley or on Ring Theory when it used to be just stills. Like you had to pay to see to see that finish, brother. You couldn't just get it for free on the next night on Raw. You had to pay to see that thing. But I just thought overall, I thought it was okay. And it's funny, like the temperature check that I was getting not only from other like content creators on YouTube and stuff, but also just from talking to people like in person. It's a brother that works at my local video game shop. Shout out to I Got Next Video Games in Glen Burnie, Maryland. And we were talking about it, and he brought up a good point, and I kind of had this in my mind too. For all the competition that WWE was trying to do purposely, like on the nights of AEW pay-per-views, is very ironic that people were kind of holding the Survivor Series card like up to, or not up to the standard, but kind of like with blood and guts in the rear view, and just like, how is War Games going to compare? And it's funny how they were able to kind of I forgot the term that they used, but they were kind of able to counter program. There is like they inadvertently counter programmed by having, or maybe it wasn't inadvertent, but they were able to have War Games, or not War Games, but Blood and Guts like a week and a half before Survivor Series. And so it's funny how that has been the comparison, and how kind of people are not I would say disappointed by the outcome, not the outcomes, but by just the matches, the actual Survivor Series matches. I thought a big standout was the John Cena Dominic Mysterio match, and I know we'll go into detail on each of them, but I just thought that even that, well, I mean, with the surprise that showed up, but even that was okay. But like you mentioned, Gerard, I don't think it was pay-per-view worthy, and I don't think it held a candle to the free show that you could have got if you were a AEW fan.
So I agree with most of what Ray said, except for that unauthorized plug, that unauthorized sponsorship for I Got Next Video Games in Glen Burnie, Maryland. Yes, I Got Next Video Games in Glen Burnie, Maryland. That's the only free plugs y'all gonna get. We appreciate y'all though. Yesterday's price is not today's price. Talk to us nice. But to go back to the 5 heartbeats, man, and I love that Gerard was the first one to kind of, you can bring me out, Ray. I love that Gerard was the first one that brought up this comparison point between Blood and Guts and the Survivor Series War Games matches, because it reminds me of one of my favorite scenes in the 5 heartbeats, where the 5 heartbeats have a hit single, Gerard, called Nothing But Love. Ain't got no money, ain't got no fancy car, don't live the life of a millionaire or a movie star. Like, whoa, that's that heat. That's that 5 heartbeats. And so then the corporate record executives are like, hey, that's the kids like that, but they'd like it even better if instead of these urban guys, we gave it to a bunch of suburban guys. Enter the 5 horsemen, and we've got soul. Let's hit them with it, fellas. Oh, whoa, 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 ain't got no money. Whoa, ain't got a fancy car. La, 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 la. Don't live the life of a millionaire, Jack. La, 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 la. Or a movie star, Jack. Do. That's what I felt when I watched Blood and Guts and then compared it to the War Games matches, man, and not to take anything away from the participants and the performers, because we know all of those performers were quality caliber performers, Gerard, but it was just the corporate sanitized version of what we got at Blood and Guts, and it just didn't hit the same. And there were so many things on this card that just felt a little bit off. Now, when you're putting together a pay-per-view or a PLE, every match doesn't have to hit. But when you've only got 4 matches, I need at least 75 of them things to hit. And I don't think we reached that goal at the Survivor Series, because God bless Nikki Bella. God bless Nikki Bella on these streets. Nikki Bella damn near, I was going to say Nikki Bella damn near as old as me. She a little bit younger than me, but still, I know them knees don't quite work the way they used to, because my knees don't quite work the way they used to. And Nikki Bella was not Lou Thez in her prime. I love how Lou Thez is always the go-to. Like, ain't nobody watched no damn Lou Thez match in like 50 years, Ray. But Lou Thez, boy, you should have seen him, Ray. You should have seen him. But that Nikki Bella and Stephanie Vakwe match, it just wasn't a pay-per-view quality match, man. Like, I do love that they took what was an initial flub, either that or Nikki is the most brilliant promoter in the history of wrestling. She's like, yo, if I butcher this girl's name, they got to put me in a match. I got to get that payper-view payday. Like, if that was long-term booking, bravo, Triple H. We enjoyed the show, kids. But that match was not pay-per-view quality. Cena and Dom. Cena and Dom was a fun match, man. I liked Cena and Dom a lot. But I think that match can't be one of your standout matches on the show with only 4 matches, Gerard.
Yeah.
If it was WrestleMania or something like that, where we've got like 5 hours of wrestling and that's a highlight of that 5 hours, cool. But it can't be the highlight of Survivor Series when you only got 4 matches. And then we talk about the War Games matches themselves. The women's match was what it was. I never, like, you ain't never gonna get me, Gerard, not at my big age. You ain't never gonna get me to bite the hook when you got a War Games match where the baby faces have the man advantage. Because it's in my opinion, unless you really have crafted that story, it falls flat because it's antithetical to me, to the spirit of War Games. But all the women worked hard, like Io Sky. She crazy. She did the damn thing with the trash can. It was good to see my tag team of the year, Lash and Smash, up in there. You know, Nia had the little cutouts on the side. I was like, oh, you doing it big in your hometown, fam. But that match didn't grip me the way I thought it was going to. So then we go to the main event, the men's match. And like Gerard said, you have not only these world champions in this match, but you've got star power, man. You got, as much as I'm not a fan of this dude personally, you got the star power of somebody like a Brock Lesnar. You got the star power of Roman Reigns. You got whatever star power is left with main event Jey Uso, man. And it just, you got Logan Paul and his following. And it just didn't quite coalesce for me, Gerard. And it's not to say it was a bad show. It was just kind of a show where I was like, like if I got to watch that show for $20 versus like $50 if we're doing the old school pay-per-view pricing. That was a $20 show, not a $50 show. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. It did have that WWE network quality, if you will.
Yes.
Oh, what?
All right, your tag team partner chimes in. He says, fellas, it felt like the Outcast, the Grits comparison. If you like Blood and Guts, you'll love Survivor Series.
Very much so. Very much so. Hey, kids, you love that Blood and Guts? How about if we give it to you without the blood or the guts, though?
Or the guts, all right.
Say the card we had, and like you touched on the Stephanie Vaquer Nikki Bella match, that's hurting my feelings right now because like if you watch how they opened up Raw, they kind of ignored her match completely.
Yes.
I don't care if it was good or bad. Like highlight her in her victory. But instead, they did not highlight her at all in that package. There's only 4 matches, and you touched the other 3 and ignored that one. Wow. It ain't WrestleMania. Like that's kind of wild. And then you give her an interview backstage that her portion of it alone was nothing. Like to me, I feel like she is going to be the background player in a Judgment Day feud for the title. Raquel has stated her want for that title. Roxanne has stated her want for that title. And now Liv has too. It's going to come to a headway. And whether it's 2 or all 3 bumping heads to get towards her, it's not going to be highlighting Stephanie. It's going to be highlighting the rest of them. Like, so it's, I don't know. I wish they give her more because like they had a star building her up and like she's not in the WrestleMania promo package footage with any of the other ladies. Like, let's highlight her. She's busting her butt to learn English. She's trying her best to like be able to be a front-facing star and live out her dream. Give her the storylines and the television time to help her become a household name. You can't be a household name if you ain't putting people household.
Like Ray, like, and this is no disrespect to Stephanie, man. We all know she's great. She's got the look. She's got the in-ring ability. Like again, for English not being her first language, she's a good talker for what it is. But your entire hype around that match, and I'm talking about the audience reaction, because the audience was not into Nikki at all as the heel, and not in a good way. Like they just didn't care. They just didn't give a damn. But like your reaction, your high spot of the match cannot be the damn Devil's Kiss, dog. Like I know that's a hot move on these streets, but if that alone is the only thing that gets people out of their seats or cheering a little bit, then no pun intended, or maybe pun definitely intended, then the match was cheeks.
Yeah, I agree. I think they did what they could, and a lot of people are giving flack to Nikki Bella, but of course you gotta view things with a 2020 lens and be like, okay, so this woman came back from 2 neck surgeries, from like a 4-year retirement, and you want her, she already, like you mentioned, brother Nate, she wasn't the I'm about to say Lou Ferrigno. She wasn't the Luthez of her time.
Lou Ferrigno.
She wasn't the Luthez of her time prior to her stepping away. And so it's just like, and then people.
How great is that, by the way, Ray? Like, it's just like, normally in a sport, you got to be like the best of all time. Like you the Babe Ruth of da 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 da. You the Michael Jordan of da 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 da. The Wayne Gretzky of da 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 da. Like everybody says this, you aren't the Luthez of wrestling, but nobody that I know, like not even Meltzer and them, say Luthez is the greatest of all time. But he gets to wear the mantle of you are the best of technical wrestlers.
Right.
It's a hell of a gift, Luthez.
Like Billy Robinson and nobody else. Like, you're like a Danny Hodge. I've been hearing about good old JR.
Back when they called it scientific wrestling, Ray.
Yeah, or Billy Hodge. That's what I'm thinking about.
Have you all ever? Do you all watch Family Guy?
Yeah.
Yes.
Have you ever seen the little skit with Stewie and Matthew McConaughey?
No.
Where Stewie was like, "Why do they keep putting you in movies?" He's just like, "I don't know, man. They just keep hiring me, and they just keep giving me checks, so I just keep taking them." And so that's Luthez. Why do they keep you, Luthez? I don't know, man. They just keep saying my name, and
it is 2025, Ray. Ray, look up when Luthez left us. R.I.P. It is 2025. People still talk about, man, you ain't no Luthez. I think I've watched in the entirety of my life, in the entirety of all my weeks of life, I think I've watched 3 Luthez matches total.
That's more than me.
And I was gonna say that's probably 2 more than Gerard.
That's more than me.
For sure. All right. It looks like he left us April 28th, 2002. So about 23 years.
Damn, Luthez. When was he born?
April 24th, 1916.
Damn. Lou was up there.
So what's that? Right, a few days after his 86th birthday.
Okay. Nah, I didn't. I thought Luthez died in like the 80s for some reason. Like, nah, I didn't know he was still with us at the turn of the century.
I guess, yeah, he hung on for a little bit. I guess he had to make it through the millennium for people to keep saying
To keep his name.
He had to make it. So I think what was that? What was that pay-per-view that Stone Cold did? Stone Cold retire after WrestleMania 19? I think that was his last match, right? So he had to make it all the way through then so that Stone Cold could keep using the Thez press. And then he was like, all right, Stone Cold done, then I'm done.
That's the crazy thing too. Like Luthez is what's your hottest move, Luthez? Yo, I got this move where I jump up and do like a lateral press on somebody. They ain't never seen nothing like this before. The first time he broke out the Thez press, they was like, "Oh, you crazy for that one, Lou?
He killing the game."
Why is he just jumping up in the air? Oh, snap.
Oh,
no, he dropping bombs on him when he get down. He dropping bombs on him when he get down. Oh, man.
The Thez press.
And then it's so funny, too. It's like the old timers nowadays would be like, man, this wrestling nowadays, it ain't realistic. But you know what's realistic? When you jump straight up and then you sit down on a man's chest.
I'm surprised. Like we never saw John Jones do that in the octagon. Like why don't MMA fighters take advantage of the Thez press?
Okay, but that's different because these are highly trained people. Let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it a buck. If you on the street and somebody just run at you, you trying to guess what they're gonna do already. I don't think you're gonna guess they're gonna do that. And if you do that, if you're willing to sacrifice your knees on that concrete, you have the man advantage at that point. And the match beyond begins. And you can start tagging them. You just have to get to that point. Your knees can handle that. Hey, it's a legitimate move in my opinion. Because
Luthez, not only a great professional wrestler, a visionary of self-defense tactics.
A visionary and a revolutionary. Well,
that day, the 450 splash.
Yo, other wrestlers is like, Lou, I ain't taking that Thez press, dog. I ain't taking that. It's too risky.
It's like, man, he was an aerial assassin with that Thez press.
Don't let him hit you. Look, and in the combination, Ray, he hit you with the monkey flip and the Thez press. You didn't know what was going on.
It was funny too. Like I'm probably sure like the luchadors in Mexico just like this nigga getting how is he getting over with a Thez press? We could be El Demo on his piss.
He probably, not to disparage Luthez, because I don't know nothing about Luthez, but he did probably steal it from a luchador.
Probably.
Oh, for sure. And I mean, back then,
what's the name of that move right there, amigo? It looks pretty snazzy.
But back then, who gonna cite the sources?
Mm-hmm.
Show me the Carfax. Who's gonna get you?
Sure.
You can't. Ain't no internet. Ain't no nothing.
Lou backstage after a trip home from Tijuana, like, hey, Crusher, I got a crazy idea. Don't go with it. In the middle of the match, I'm gonna jump straight in the air and fall on you, and then start hitting you. The kids are gonna go wild. They've never seen aerial tactics like this before.
Yeah, just run into me and take a bat bump, and I'll do the rest, brother.
All right, Peter Luthez. Who knew in 2025 Luthez would get 5 minutes worth of conversation on this show?
That was our tangent.
Back to the wrestling of today, though. Outside of the Stephanie Vaquero match with Nikki Bella, which again, I don't know why anybody would have wild expectations for that. Just given the participants and not Stephanie, but Nikki, again, she was not a master technician in her day. She was very much character based, and I don't think the audience, even though she was trying really hard in the lead up to this match, I don't think the audience bought into that character, and so they're not going to buy into the match. I thought on the other hand, though, I thought the opposite was true for Dominic and Cena. I thought that match over delivered.
Yeah. And I want to chime in Real quick, just to put a pin on Nikki and Miss Fackway. Also, people still had a bad taste in their mouths from her return match with Nikki Bella as well, which again left a lot to be desired. But I think she did a bit better in this match. But again, you can only do so bad when you got a technician like Vaquera in there. And I love how you mentioned it's like this twisting corkscrew, like she's just killing it with that, but everybody just want to see the devil's kiss. It's like, come on, man. It's like, how you gonna finish with after you do the devil's kiss and then you do the twisting? It's just like crazy.
Yeah, it was no enthusiasm for the twisted corkscrew when she hit that. It was like, okay.
It was like, even that was my high point of WrestlePalooza when she hit that. I was like, oh my god. But everybody was
the whole crowd at Petco Park was just a bunch of Charlie Wilsons talking about, can we get to the yams?
Yams, show me the way, cause I got bills to pay.
Can I get to the yams? Sweet yams, show me the way.
You up so fast, Ray Williams. How did you have that queued up so fast?
Standby. I knew we were going to use it.
You just had that on standby.
I just had it.
That's kind of wild.
I knew we were going to use it.
That is wild, Ray. I knew he was going to talk about yams at some point in the show. What did you think about Ray and Dom?
Well, I thought Ray was going to.
Not Ray and Dom, Cena and Dom.
Yeah. Juan.
I was distracted by the yams.
Oh my god.
I know a lot of people, well, not a lot of people, but I was hearing like some people were thinking, oh, is Ray going to get involved and then cause Dom and so but for what they did, I thought it was a decent match. It's very, very telling when you have not only CM Punk, when he first came back, he did a bunch of matches with Dom Mysterio to kind of get him back, like on the house show loops, to kind of get him back into that mode, into wrestling on a daily basis. Mm-hmm. And now John Cena is entrusting you with his final PLE match. So it says a lot about Dom Mysterio. So hats off to that guy. Even though he still looked like a creep with the with the mullet and the mustache. But that's what he's looking for. But he's developing such a great character, especially, and I know our guy Chris. He used to just dump on the Judgment Day and be like, Rhea's the best thing, and those goofballs. But Dom has really kind of progressed a lot with his character since then, and he's progressing even past the whole, oh, I'm a gold digger and I'm only going with the girls that win the titles and stuff like that. I think he's kind of brought his character up a little bit more, and now to show that he can be more of the main character rather than the side piece, pun intended. So I think the only thing is like, a 6 against 1, and somebody mentioned this when I talked to him as well. But it's like you got Raquel beating down on it, and it just shows how giving John Cena is that you got Raquel beating on this man. You got Roxanne Perez giving this man a pop rocks. Then you got JD, but I think JD kind of equalized it, like JD and Finn came down to get like the double AA. And so they kind of equalized it a little bit just so that they can be the ones get tossed around. But then you get the surprise return of Liv, and then she does the whole full circle, like the crazy eyes that John Cena did behind his back. And so it's just like, of course, Dom is going to win in that action, or in that particular fashion. But it's just like, it took all that to take down little old John Cena. Like, come on. But yeah, I thought it was very, very entertaining, and like I said, shout out to John Cena. I think and I guess we could kind of talk about this as well. I think the latter half of his retirement tour is going a lot better than the starting half, even though the initial turn, as if we all have already noted, was historic and was amazing, like the initial turn, but then like everything coming out of it wasn't too good, but then flipping back was awesome, and then him getting his flowers from a bunch of people, and then Brock Lesnar. But then we move on, and but yeah, so I think the latter half has been a lot better than the beginning half, and I'll be intrigued to see how they end it all on December 13th. But yeah, as far as this match is concerned, I thought it was one of the, if not the only, like bright light from this particular show.
Damn. Gerard, so a couple things about Ray's breakdown of John Cena versus Dominique Mysterio. Shout out to Chris. But I think it was a well-booked match, man. Again, Dom has improved so much, not with just his character work, but his in-ring has gotten better as well. I think I love the idea that the Judgment Day is united so that we can start to fracture them again. I'm always a sucker for that. But I think when you look at John Cena, there's a couple things here. Number one, he was very giving in this match. Number two, I think because he won here, even though John's a traditionalist and he probably wants to go out on his shield, he gonna win on Saturday night's main event, because I don't think you send him off with back-to-back L's, even though that's probably what he wants. And then number three, Ray talked about kind of the heel turn being the mushy part of this farewell tour. It almost feels like when you do something that people have been asking you to do for a while, but you know it ain't gonna work, but you do it just to show them it ain't gonna work. Like for instance, me and Brian Mann used to host a podcast called Keep It 100. And one of the things that we had criticism about in the early days of the show was it was too pre-produced. There was too much production. Something that would become the hallmark of a lot of wrestling shows and other podcasts as the years progressed. You know, maybe me and Brian Mann was just a little bit ahead of the curve, Gerard, but because of that criticism, one week Brian was like, you know what? They keep saying it's too pre-produced. We don't have enough audience interaction. Let's just do a mailbag show. I'm like, yeah, let's give them a mailbag show, Brian. And the mailbag show, it wasn't a terrible show, Gerard, but it wasn't nearly as good as the work that we had been doing prior to that, because it wasn't the show. It wasn't, you know, what we were locked in on. And the audience questions were kind of a hit or miss, you know, bag of questions and thoughts. And so when you look at that Cena heel turn now in retrospect, it's kind of like, yeah, I guess they did it because they had to do it. The initial heel turn was great, but the rest of it just kind of felt like I'm a heel because I have to be a heel because you wanted me to be a heel, even though this doesn't really make sense with the story we're trying to tell you. But here it is, and now it's gone because nobody liked that, and we knew you wouldn't like that because we weren't going to do it in the way that you wanted. So thoughts on the Cena Dom match and kind of the last stretch, the home stretch of the John Cena farewell tour?
This match is the tale of two things for me. I love the fact that we got to boost up the Judgment Day side. And I think having them have that gang mentality, that's the Judgment Day, and that helps them fuel them as heels on the roster. I like the fact that it's this, I want to say it started maybe right around the time when they had her feuding with Rhea, but it feels like they've had this Raquel Rodriguez, Raquel Rodriguez rehabilitation project going on to help regrow her with the Rhea feud, with the Stephanie Vicaire match, and how they also had their thing. So like I see her trying to regrow her into a women's giant and get rid of that look at my back character that she had going on for that hot minute on the main roster. So I like what they're doing with her. I like the fact that we're getting her back to a better place. I like the fact that we are trying to legitimize and keep Roxanne at a high level, even John letting them both hit their finishes on him. That's an amazing thing for them to get and to help grow both of them. Because when you look at Rio was beating up like Akira Tozawa, Dom, a couple of men here and there, but like China was beating up main eventers, was tapping up main eventers back in the day, and that made her a bigger star. By having them tap up a main eventer, that's helping them become a bigger star in the long run. So I like that for them. Liv coming back, I like that because that tells me in my heart of hearts, we are now kicking off the run of Liv's babyface turn. And we're going to grow and grow and grow towards that. Finn is going to be and has always been the main nail of the Judgment Day. You would think, oh, it's Edge. Oh, it was Damian and Rhea. Yeah, but they were sold on a different vision after Hell in a Cell 2022 by Finn, who had basically beat their leader in every point of that match, and they had to keep saving Edge countless times. Finn has been the main leader of the Judgment Day since he called them up between that Sunday and Monday and said, hey, how about this? And he's been moving the group. It's his also, I think it's a project for him as well, as much it is for everybody else in the group as well. Him and Liv are going to feud. They're going to have big issues. And his catalyst through that feud is going to be Roxanne, in my opinion. That will be his surrogate or whatever you like to call in that regard. But I think we have to build up to that point by getting them to both go for the world title and then there to be conflict of that. And then I think that sends us to Elimination Chamber where Liv would then win the Chamber to go to Mania to get that belt. And I think she beats Roxanne at the end of the Chamber too to stop her from getting that belt as well. To get that shot at Mania. I would have thought, and I've had a big question of who wins Rumble, Liv or the person who I actually think wins Rumble, Bianca Belair, who comes back, gets that Triple H 2002 kind of comeback into the Rumble video package build, wins the match, goes into Mania. I broke my hand last year and it put me out for a whole year. I'm not going to lose again. I lost at Mania for the first time. I hate that sting of loss. I'm coming to get that world title. I see that for Bianca over Liv because I think Liv needs some more time to cook as a babyface before getting there.
Yeah.
A Bianca My Sacrifice video, boy. I tell you, heat.
But I said this is the tale of two matches. And to me, the other end of it is I don't like the fact that this is John Cena's last PLE match. I'm sorry. I didn't need Dom to be that opponent. I didn't need it to be this all over the place, chaotic, everybody getting in, Finn getting in, JD getting in, Raquel getting in, Roxanne getting in, and then Liv coming back and getting in. I can get past the whole dominatrix slap and all that. I get that. If that's where we're going with the storyline, cool. Like if that's where the relationship has evolved, that they like to get aggressive, cool. I don't care.
Exactly, right.
But like, I don't need this to be Cena's last match on. Like, if you told me Cena's last pay-per-view match was like the match him and Cody had, cool. I'd rock with that. If you told me it was Crown Jewel and what AJ and him did, cool. I'd take that. This, I know you have more in the tank. I know you have more in the tank. I know you've shown us. You hide, you lie, but you've shown us. You can pull it out. When you want to pull it out, you can pull it out. Maybe you think that this whole endeavor with Gunther, because I really highly doubt it's going to be LA Knight. It's going to probably be Gunther.
Yeah.
I could get Gunther chopping the mess out of you all day and all long, and you feel like you're going to be beat up to high heaven by the end of that match. So you may be trying to play it safe, but like, give me something more, man, because we felt cheated multiple times on this road. I don't feel cheated by the Rumble. I don't feel cheated by the Chamber, and I was there for both of those live. I feel cheated at Mania, and I felt pretty cheated all the way up until probably SummerSlam with this run. Like, from Mania to SummerSlam, this was just not it for me. There was maybe I like the Punk promo and like the reversal promo in Grand Rapids when Cena cut the promo on Punk while he was through the table. But like, that's it. That's it for this run. And it's not like, oh, I needed more from my. He's not somebody who I really gleaned that. Like when he's gone, like I might miss him, but the way we're doing this year, you making me not miss you. Maybe in like 5 to 10 years, I'll really miss you somehow. But like, I'm not gonna miss you when you're gone because you're showing your ass on the way out.
He's no Luthez.
Hey, spitting that truth.
So, real quick, because I do want to pivot topics here, and we'll have more to talk about not only WWE but also AEW and TNA when we get to both Ring Theory here at Nefarious and this month's edition of the NWA podcast over at Post. But real quick, thoughts on the chamber matches, the War Games matches, because again, I thought they were both kind of underwhelming considering the quality and the caliber of performers. And again, man, if you're going to do the babyfaces got the advantage gimmick, you got to sell it. You got to put in the work, and I don't think they put in the work in that women's match.
Yeah, I agree. I just think, and again, we're talking with some people, them just mentioning that, and with hearing again, content creators talk about it as well. It's getting to that place where we had Hell in a Cell last year, and it wasn't a gimmick. It was because the Hell in a Cell was needed. And that match between Punk and McIntyre was tremendous because they built it up and because it necessitated, like, these guys went through every other match. They went through a strap match. They went through a regular match. They went through all this other stuff. It had to finish. It had to end with them being in Hell in a Cell. And with the last few Survivor Series that they had, where they did reintroduce War Games, like, it was necessitated because you had the Bloodline, and then you had you had the Bloodline, and then you had the New Bloodline or Bloodline 2.0, and so you had to hash all that stuff out, and so it was necessitated for the last 3 or 4 years. But this year, it just seemed like the old gimmick pay-per-views of old where, we're just throwing it in because, hey, it's November, so it's got to be Survivor Series War Games. And it's crazy that they had the traditional Survivor Series match on SmackDown. And I was like, you could have tossed that. You could have made a 5-card show and threw the actual namesake match on the actual pay-per-view card. Y'all act like y'all couldn't do that.
That would mean the Motor City Machine Guns would get a pay-per-view match. So we can't do that now, can we?
Can't do that. No SmackDown tag teams can get matches on pay-per-views. How dare you? How dare you, Gerard? But it's just crazy, man. But I just feel as though with the women's match, of course, everything had to lead up to Io diving off with that trash can, saying with me, Nate, because she's crazy. So crazy. So, but it's like, even leading up to that, it's like, and of course, your chocolate and caramel with it's Smash and Dash, or Smash and Lash, I should say. Lash and Smash. Smash and Dash sound like something else.
Right, that's we ain't gonna go there, Ray. Ejectocito, cuz.
But Lash and Smash. So they and I think they did a great job with building up Lash as like a very formidable opponent for the baby faces. But
then had to go out like a sucker.
Yeah. With the mist.
Yeah, like come on, man.
It takes away your equilibrium. The poison just seeps in. You never know what happens. But Yeah, it's just crazy. Like it's just crazy how they just worked through that match. And again, it wasn't like, and then you're trying to build this kind of manufactured uh beef now turned into alliance with Charlotte and your girl Rhea Ripley. And so it's like, oh, okay, I guess it's okay. And then with the men's match, it's just like you do all that, and then you have this masked character come down, and he's doing all the moves of Seth Rollins, and it's like, oh, really? This is how we end with all this firepower. We end on this whimper, and like I said, it just seemed like when the most electric thing that happened throughout the night was a little kid getting shoved down by Paul Heyman. Then yeah, I don't know, but I guess it looks like now Logan Paul is officially a part of the Vision, I guess, because he came back with them on Monday. So I mean, I don't know. I guess that's something to look forward to. Question mark. I don't know. Yeah, I just thought it was pretty meh.
Gerard, thoughts on the War Games matches?
I'm gonna say this. I think the women's was good. I think we could have. I said earlier the build was my problem, and my thing is, why is AJ Lee and Becky Lynch in this match? Like, they don't need to be in this match. We have Lash and Nia that you are building up as this new unit. Why are we having them lose? Why is Asuka and Kairi Sane continuously losing all the time?
And they're the champions.
For real. Like, that's sickening to me. So why can't they win this match? Because the baby faces, just hear me out, they can have the advantage. But egos can get in the way. And so you've already shown that Charlotte and Rhea, they got some issues. And so the two of them colliding in the midst of this match, having actual concerns and issues that play off of their nicely shot but poorly done backstage segment. Because to me, when I look to last year in these type of shots, these segments, the Punk and Roman one leading into Survivor Series, the same time of year, was more of a scene of them going back and forth with dialogue and talking. What is this 2-sentence backstage highly shot promo y'all got to talk about? Okay, we have problems. Now we do not have problems. I want problems always. Like I that's what I want. Give me the problems in the match. Give me what they are doing throughout the whole thing. Like, I need them feuding, and because it never came back.
Yeah,
there's like a light little exchange in the match, but like that, no, that's not enough. I need them to actually have issues, and then build up your heels. We're going into the winter. Make it a cold go into the Rumble from having to build yourself back up from a loss. I can say the same thing about the Legion of Doom versus the Justice League in the main event. That's what to me, that's what it looks like. You literally have Logan Paul. You got Drew McIntyre. You got Brock Lesnar. You got Bronson. And then you got Paul Heyman out there. It's the Legion of Doom to me. That's the Legion of Doom right there. Then you've got over here your superheroes and your Punk and your Cody and the Usos and Roman. I'm taking Jimmy out of this match, homie. I'm sorry, Jimmy don't need to be in this match. Big Jim,
Hawkeye.
You seen Justice League? He in Justice League Unlimited right now.
He got mouths to feed.
He can get it in the secondary show, or he can be out there with Paul, keeping him distracted. But he don't need to be in the match. I'm sorry. I'm good. Because it, like a lot of people have stated, it's very samey from the last previous years we've had of teams. I don't need to keep having that there. Now you tell me you put an LA Knight in there, somebody who Jay had to then feud with the next night on Raw in this tournament, but then had to team with and give the babyface team even more issues to have to collide with egos on that team. It's not just Jay having his issues with that, but him and Roman and him trying to live up to Roman and Roman's words. whatnot, and him looking at Punk and the gold that he wants to have around his shoulders, but can't seem to grab at any point. And then Cody, his other homie who he used to tag with and have tag gold with, and he got gold on his shoulder.
Mhm.
And he can't compare to nobody else around him. And he sees LA Knight coming up from behind, surpassing him, and he feels this urge to try to keep his main event status before he is now mid-card Uso. But that could be the story. You saw him crash out on Monday. Feed into that in the match. Give me a lot of narrative in the match. What was that ending stuff? What was that? Like, it's weird to see Roman over here like, you ruined my life. Hey, come on up here, buddy. You good?
Right.
Thanks, man. And I know we went to war, but like, and people do that in UFC all the time where they're, I hate you. By the end of the match, oh, hey, buddy, good fight, buddy.
Yeah.
All respect, yeah. No, I don't want to see that. And then he starts manufacturing stuff with Cody. Like, bro, I don't want to see a third match with you and him. just give me the singles with you and Punk, like, and get the world heavyweight title. You've always been talking about Punk this whole time.
What time is it?
Uh-oh. A new challenger.
Speaking of war games, looks like the man advantage has gone to the esteemed professor from Los Angeles, California, y'all. You hear the voice. You know the name. He's not here to play games of any kind with you, not even war games. Y'all give it up for the good professor himself, Dr. Chris Ely. Chris, what's going on, brother?
Hold on one second. Let me make sure my camera's on.
Hey, look up from the ceiling. It's Chris.
All right, there I go. Oh, Jesus. All I gotta say, everything that could go wrong did go wrong. It was just
Alexa lights.
So I was putting together something on the ground in this room. This room is like a miscellaneous room. And I couldn't get off the ground. And it's probably a brain surgery thing, So I was like having it was a nightmare. My wife is out of town because she could have easily just helped me, but I was, it's just so sorry about that, everybody. And I put this on Substack too today. So, this is a hell of a debut. That's all I got to say.
I'm glad you're able to make it with us, brother. Glad you're able to look. As Donnie McClurkin said, we fall down, okay, but we get up. Saint is just the sinner that fell down and got up, Chris. So we're glad you're with us, brother.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Well, brother, Nate, real quick, I think the 3-minute countdown is already surpassed because now we got the 3-on-2 advantage again. Because coming in is the second half, the second half of the Ring Theory duo.
Yeah. Are you talking about the man himself, the number one Kenny Omega fan in the game, the leader of the mid-card Marauders, the holder of the Shula Fala himself, the man that was front row in Petco Stadium to see the Yams? Y'all give it up for upper mid-card Jay Lacey.
Ladies and gentlemen, your eyes and ears do not deceive you. It is I, the leader of the mid-card mafia, upper mid-card, soon to be main event. Keep it locked where you got it. Jay Lace, what's cracking, y'all? Hey,
brother.
I am so glad I did not pull the trigger, and I'm so glad I didn't pull the trigger and get those tickets to Survivor Series. That was a show that if I would have dropped $800 like I was going to, I'd have been pissed. I'd have been really upset. And the reason is because, sheesh. We just had blood and guts. Y'all talked about it. We just had blood and guts. And you're going to put this up against that? Basura. It has no business being there, man. So it's trash, man. It's so sanitized. It's like, not for that money. I'm glad I stayed home. I'm glad I didn't have to rush out, beat traffic or anything like that. It would have been cool to be like, yeah, I saw John Cena's last PLE match? Maybe, but I still saw it. And I'm $800 richer in my pocket. So, so who really won?
10 years from now, you can tell everybody you was there. They ain't gonna know no different.
Yeah.
Nah. I saw Dominic. I'm good.
Yeah.
Chris, we were just wrapping up our Survivor Series conversation, and as we told the audience, we are going to get more into this on the NWA podcast and on Ring Theory later this month here at Nefarious. But any thoughts on what we've all kind of said was either varying degrees of meh to basura? What were your thoughts on Survivor Series?
Yeah, it was a garbage show. I think people are like being nice because this is what WWE does to people. It gets you to grade them on a curve when they clearly do some shit that's awful,
like Macklemore at the Grammys.
Right? Yeah.
What?
Just
Just
wait to my therapist over this.
Exactly. So like they clearly do something that's not good, and people kind of look for like the silver linings in what they put on, or the like, throw them a couple mulligans. That show was not good, man. It was the Dominic stuff was okay, even that was kind of, people liked it, in my opinion, just because the rest of the show was just not good. And I do think that, WWE is getting to the point now where they've always been a bottom line company. And what I mean by that is like wrestling, oftentimes the only metric they measure success on is the money part. Like different sports are like sports and like entertainment stuff is different. Like we a few weeks ago we were talking about Dwayne Johnson, right? Yeah. And is that performance gonna get him a statue? Was that a prestige performance good enough to get him a Oscar nomination? And that's what other industries like look at, like musicians. They care about making money, but they also care about the art of things, right? When you're looking at like the NBA, it's like, yeah, you want to make the most money you can, but you also want to win a championship. And then, veterans like sacrifice a lot of money and move to cities that you thought they would never move to just to taste the championship, and WWE, and I say all that to say WWE operates in this "are we making money" bubble, and that seems like the only thing they give a fuck about. Like what else do they care about? And the thing is, when Vince McMahon was the booker, and I always hate doing this. I always feel like I need to preface my comments when I'm about to compliment Vince McMahon, but he and we all know Vince McMahon was a bit of a miser, right? He cared a lot about making money too. That's why WWE is what it is today, because Vince McMahon was like, okay, yeah, this territory shit, we can do better than this. So he expanded WWE, turned it into this billion-dollar industry, and but there were still things that he did that gave you at least the optic that money was important, but there's just certain things we're not gonna do. Like with the ring mat, I used to think it was stupid not to put advertising on the ring mat. What WWE's done with that, though, is just insane, man. It's like it's I can't explain it. It's like how many ads do you need on that fucking mat? You know, like,
But Chris, how else will I know about the benefits of Prime Energy drink?
right? Yeah. It's like it's like when I remember WCW used to use the real estate on the wrestling ring mat sometimes, right?
Mhm.
And if it was like, you know, Bash at the Beach, it'd be Slim Jim's Bash at the Beach. That'd be the only logo you get on the mat.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't be like a zillion of them on the mat. You wouldn't be hit up with like these, like, it's like they do the commercials. Michael Cole does like ad reads.
Mhm.
They operate like a big budget podcast. You know, it's like you got your commercials, you got your ad reads, you got your, you know, all that stuff, and that seems to be the main focus of everything. Not putting on a good show. It's like there's no excuse for the mediocrity that's been 2025 for WWE. It's just no excuse for it. That Survivor Series is probably no, I'm not even gonna say probably. It's definitely the most garbage Survivor Series I've ever seen.
Damn.
And I'm including 97. You know, that was an actual decent show until, you know, Vince McMahon pulled his shit. But like I can't think of a Survivor Series that was worse than this, man. It was not good. I know WWE people are gonna come for me. Hopefully the Substackers, if they're sticking around for the wrestling talk, hopefully they won't come for me. But yeah, that show was not good, man. I'm with Jarek because I was never really seriously considering going to Petco, but my wife did bring it up, but she had to go to Chicago this weekend, so she was originally going to go to San Diego to visit her family. We were going to do that, and she knew that the Survivor Series was going to be out there, and she asked me if I'd want to go to it. And I was like, if you want to go, I got no desire to go to this thing. It just wasn't moving me. I will say this. I don't know, like, the motivation of wrestling, and then after this we can kind of take, you know, do whatever we're going to do next. But I don't know, like, if as far as like the wrestling business, I don't know what the hesitation is to like put the world title on a guy that's young, because I don't. Like, this seems like a new phenomenon too. Like, I heard Mark Henry say something like, was it Javon he was talking about? Or like he said something like the guy, oh, he could win the world title in about 15 years. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, you know, what are we doing, man? It's like that, and that's not how things typically went in wrestling. You know, The Rock was like, what was he, 26, 27 when he won the world title the first time? Mm-hmm. Hulk Hogan was 29. Bruno Sammartino, I think he was like 29 as well. Like, so like we gotta, like with someone like a Braun Breaker, you got to strike while the iron is hot, because the one thing I'm seeing from Braun Breaker is intensity. I do think he's going to be a decent world champ when they finally put the belt on him. The thing I'm not sure about with him is he going to be like a level up wrestler? Is he going to be a CM Punk? Is he going to be a Cody Rhodes? Is he going to be a Rock? Is he going to be a Macho Man? Is he going to be a Bret Hart? Is he going to be any of like those guys, you know? Right. And I'm just not sure about that, just from what they've given me. It's like, and that's why it's so important to put the world title on a guy like that, because you don't want to waste time building up this credibility. It's not fucking real. is fake. Like a real competition. Just what are you doing? Like shit, Kobe Bryant was in fucking high school when he went to the NBA. what the fuck are we doing? I'm really trying to understand. And he won his first championship. How old was he? Like 23? Like, come the fuck on, man. Sorry, I'm just thinking about this gets on my nerves. But
you know, unfortunately, it's not like it was in Luther's day, man. We talked about that earlier, Chris. But before we pivot topics, like you did bring something to my mind. Like the WWE current model of presentation is very much like a big budget podcast with all these sponsored drops. And I'm just waiting 1 week on Netflix to hear Michael Cole just say, and there we have it, the footage from the Survivor Series. We saw Lesnar's team with the man advantage. Speaking of that, ladies, do you feel like your man has lost his advantage in your very own ring? Try Hims. Hims has medically produced products that help your man regain his stamina, his strength, and his drive so he can grab that brass ring in the bedroom and become your world champion. See the vision, get Hims.
You know what? Like too, when Hulu first came out, they used to have like free tiers on Hulu, right? Like it was like you could watch some like shows for free and all that, and then they changed it to Hulu Plus, and then that Hulu Plus was the stuff you paid for, but they still had the free stuff, and then they just changed it to Hulu that it is today, where everything is you got to pay for it, right? And I say all that to say, like, if I'm paying you money for your streaming shit, I do want less commercials and all that, you know? Like, I understand like product placement and stuff because that's what they do in movies, you know? Like Home Alone did it with the Pizza Hut and the Pepsi and all that stuff. I understand product placement. But do you have to hit me over the head with all of this, like, just unadulterated? I don't even know. Like, this is like the worst form of capitalism there is. You know, that's just kind of what WWE is. Tony Khan doesn't do this. I don't think TNA really ever was quite like with WWE is on another level with this book, man. Like, I don't know if anybody's touching them with their shamelessness, man.
Speaking of unadulterated, Chris, ladies, if you want to keep your man faithful, try Hims. Hims is something that you'll never have to be ashamed of. Use promo code WWE. But speaking of the marriage between sports and entertainment and money, I did want to touch on this topic for a second. We don't have to go deep into it because we'll have time for that on the Kings of Sport. But there is a well-known college coach who came up in Chris and Jay's neck of the woods, who was the head coach of the Ole Miss Rebels. And when the Ole Miss Rebels were heading to the playoffs, Chris, and they were looking for their coach to give them the hot tag, to give them that inspiration, Lane Kiffin hopped off the apron and took off his blazer that said Ole Miss, and it's like, wait a minute, he's playing for LSU. Lane Kiffin is now your new head coach at LSU, Louisiana State University, and depending on what reports you hear, Kiffin offered his kids that he could stay and coach them in the playoffs, and they was like, nah, we good, fam. Go be with your team. Go be with your new family. So Lane Kiffin is now the head coach at LSU. There's a lot of discussion and conversation around it, fellas. I think Lane Kiffin is primarily to blame in this situation because I think it does hurt the kids. I think it is selfish. If you're that good to go to LSU, tell them to wait until the season's over. But I also feel like there is something wrong or something that needs to be amended in college football where we've got these deadlines, because part of the reason Kiffin left when he did is because high school recruiting. signing day is coming up, and he's got to get those recruits into LSU. So, Jay Lacey, we can start with you. Like I said, Kiffin kind of, got famous out in your neck of the woods, man, at USC. What were your thoughts when you saw this story develop this week, brother?
That's part of his DNA. That's what he does. He finds a job, then he looks for another job as soon as he gets that job. That's essentially what he does. I mean, how long do you think he's going to stay at LSU? He's always going to be chasing the next big thing, right? So for him to go ahead and say that he wanted to coach out the rest of the season or whatever he offered to or whatever, he's going to half-heartedly coach, because he's still going to look at the next job, LSU, try to get the kids, from high school, maybe get some transfers to come into his new program and build it in his own image. And so, yeah, I mean, you're not going to want a guy that's going to be half-heartedly there anyway. I mean, if you quit, you quit. Just might as well turn your keys in, turn in your parking pass, you're done, right? So it's part of the course for him. I'm not surprised by that. And I'm not, honestly, to Lane Kiffin's point too, I'm not mad at him for actually chasing the bag. I mean, if somebody going to offer you more money to do the same job, wouldn't you go? That's part of, taking care of your family. But for these kids that are getting left behind at Ole Miss that are competing for a national championship, I feel bad for them because they've worked their tails off for, a coach that said, hey, look, we family, we going to do this. This is the end goal. And they're almost at the point where they're going to go to the playoffs. And the guy that was leading them jumped ship. So it's college football. That's the problem they've had for years. So I'm not surprised by it, but that's just, what Lane Kiffin does.
So, Chris, this to me was like hilarious because Lane Kiffin, as Jay mentioned, had that reputation of somebody who was always looking for the next big job. But it seemed like at Ole Miss, where he's been for the past 6 seasons, he actually settled down. And he got tapped back in with his family. In fact, he wanted to leave 2 or 3 seasons ago, and his daughters, who were attending Ole Miss, convinced him to stay at Ole Miss. And he's like, you know what? I'm a rebel through and through, Chris. I've changed my stripes. I've made a lot of mistakes. I done quit drinking. Yeah, me and my wife got divorced, but you know what? That was more on me than it was on her. I'm a changed man, Chris. I know everybody said I was a scorpion before and I was just hopping on all these frogs' backs, but I didn't change. But Chris, you know as well as I do, a scorpion can't change they stingers, dog.
No, they can't, man. And Lane Kiffin is one of those guys that it almost feels like he's stalking me, man. Because I was in Tennessee when he was the coach of Tennessee.
That one season.
Yeah, I was there working a job for my friend Cameron's mom as a research analyst, and Lane Kiffin was the coach there. And then he left them high and dry for my alma mater, USC. And I was a student at USC Annenberg when Lane Kiffin was the coach there. I have a classmate who played for USC football, and he told me about the day he got fired from USC.
Yep.
And everywhere I go, this guy is universally hated. In Tennessee, that's one thing. If you ever want to get people from Knoxville and Los Angeles to agree on something, Lane Kiffin, right? But yeah, my classmate told me that, or he might have been the guy I was tutoring. He might have been one of my students, but he told me when they fired Lane Kiffin, it was after he had given a pep speech to the team after a loss, and they were getting on the bus, and they stopped him from getting on the bus, and was like, "Nah, you ain't a part of this no more." So he couldn't even take the bus ride back with the team, and I don't know what it is with Lane Kiffin. I really don't, because I don't like his coaching record doesn't seem to like it's almost like I know I already mentioning this name. I'm gonna get smoke from him, so I accept Mama's cooking. But Kwame Brown, like how he was able to like find a team in the NBA for so long, like he was just always like finding his way to teams. You know, I kind of understand it on a meta level because a big man is a good asset to have. So that's right. But like with Lane Kiffin, he's kind of like that too. It's like he always gets hired for these things.
Well, I think what Kiffin is really smart at, Chris, and I think we do have to give him credit for this. He knows how to reinvent himself after failures, right? So he bolts from Tennessee to go to USC. He comes in with all this promise, Chris, and then flames out. Like you said, they fired him on the tarmac, wouldn't even let him get on the bus to go home. Where does Lane Kiffin go from there? You know, I may be mixing up the chronology a little bit, but the next big place we see him is as an assistant at Alabama under Nick Saban. So he gets to spend 3 or 4 seasons under Nick Saban, and he gets all that Nick Saban credibility, Chris, and he parlays that, no pun intended, he parlays that to a job at a smaller school at
Florida. Is it Florida Atlantic or Florida?
Was it Florida Atlantic or South Florida? But he goes to a smaller school, kind of builds them up, gets all this good publicity, Chris. Like, oh man, Lane Kiffin, he's really changed. He's mellowed out, Chris. He's a good dude. So he takes that credibility and goes back to the SEC, but at a smaller level at Ole Miss, where he kind of builds them back into a credible team. Again, like Lane Kiffin, he's not the greatest coach in the world, but I do think he is good at building up. Like if you, this is where LSU is going to find trouble, I think, Chris, because I think Lane Kiffin is good at building up underdogs to a certain level. But when he's the man running the big show, it hadn't always worked out for him. But he took that credibility from Ole Miss, and now he's parlaying that to LSU. And as Jay said, it wouldn't shock me if in 3 years, if LSU is doing better than they were under Brian Kelly, and some other team comes calling, and Lane's like, you know what? I really love my time here in Louisiana. This is where I wanted to spend the rest of my life, Chris. You know, laissez-aller, bon temps roulé, and all that good stuff. But I got this job at Ohio State. I got to go.
Yeah.
I mean, Lane Kiffin, honestly, is the equivalent to Snoop Dogg when he was in his rap career. You know, he's from label to label. That's what Lane Kiffin is doing. He's going from one school to the next school to the next school. And you're right, maybe in 2.5, maybe 3 seasons, he's gonna go somewhere else. That's just what he does.
So what you're saying is this is Lane Kiffin's R&G rhythm and gangster era?
Nah, I think it was more like his Snoop Lion era.
Oh, wow. How can we forget Snoop Lion? He was the Macklemore of reggae.
Oh no.
That actually turned into a thing, man. The Macklemore, for a sidebar for a second, Ray. I don't want to keep poking the bear, Ray, but white boys wouldn't even take that argument about stuff. Because I was in the middle of another conversation like that. And the white boys wouldn't even be like, Kendrick is or Macklemore is better than Kendrick. The thing is, though, like if you are ever around a white boy that likes rap, they're always gonna go to Eminem. They're always gonna be like, Eminem is the shit. Eminem's the shit. It was like. You might get some that go to Bubba Sparks.
New South.
And he's got a flow. You might even get some that would go to like Paul Wall or something like that.
Sitting sideways, the boys in a daze.
Yeah, no one was trying to take this Macklemore conversation.
Got to do with Lane Kiffin. That's all I want.
Bro, you could have went with G-Eazy. You could have went with G-Eazy.
I mean, Ray, you got to think about it though, because when Lane Kiffin leaves LSU to take that job in Washington, that's in the state of Washington, whose most famous rapper, according to Ray Williams, is not Sir Mix-a-Lot, it is Macklemore.
He's the best since Sir Mix-a-Lot.
Did Macklemore ever have a song as good as Posse's on Broadway? I think not, Ray Williams.
Hey, y'all keep putting words in my mouth. I'm not saying he's a better rapper. I'm just saying in that year, the album
you enjoyed the album more
than the other album. I didn't say he was a better rapper.
See, that's the thing. The album that Kendrick Lamar put out that year,
Kid Mad City.
Yeah, it holds the test of time way more than that Macklemore album. It's like not even like
wow.
Like,
but is that necessarily because it's a better album, or is it because it's 2020? It's 2020.
It's a better album. It's literally because it's a better album. That's
more 20. I think it's more 2020 because Kendrick is who he is now. He's the
Kendrick Lamar has constantly been turning.
Ejectocito, cuz.
It's not like Kendrick Lamar woke up and became this. He was turning into this from the moment he first rapped a bar. That he was evolving incrementally. He was turning into this. Macklemore, Flow Rider, all those 2010 dweebs.
They are
welcome to my house.
Yeah, the 2000s dweebs. There were so many flash in the pans that came out in that time, and Macklemore is one of them.
Wow.
Put some respect on Flow Rider name, man, because I'm not gonna put him on the same level as Macklemore.
Mr. WrestleMania.
Flow Rider had staying power.
I'll give him slightly better than Macklemore, but slightly better. I'm not gonna give him like way better than Macklemore because I
will say Macklemore ain't never had a WrestleMania anthem like Green Light. That joint went hard.
Yeah. It was. I mean, but that's what you can depend on from guys like Macklemore and Flow Rider and stuff is just those like catchy songs that you can put over like a commercial or a montage or something like that. But
I've been watching wrestling a long time, Ray. Not never once have I heard Michael Cole say, and we'd like to send a special thanks to Macklemore for use of his song Thrift Store for this year's Royal Rumble. That ain't never happened to my knowledge ever.
Oh, please. We're gonna judge WWE's tapes and rap music. They had Machine Gun Kelly next to doggone John Cena. Don't sit up here and say like they're the arbiter of.
But I'll give Machine Gun Kelly. He's a better rapper than Macklemore. As far as like a better performer and stuff like that, maybe not. But Machine Gun Kelly, and I don't like Machine Gun Kelly as a person, but he is a formidable rapper, is what I.
Ray.
I don't think Macklemore is. I think Macklemore might be a better performer than
Machine Gun Kelly,
but he's not like but as far as like actual spitting, I'd give it to MGK first.
He ain't had no hits until he started playing guitar. This nigga ain't out of here. He's spitting like Macklemore.
Look, Ray, I give you credit. You down 10-8 on the cards right now, but at least you fighting. You going down fighting. You tried to hit Chris with the Thez press. He just took a step back and it didn't work. It's all right.
Here, but I'm coming in with the monkey flip for Ray.
So what white rappers is, and this is a serious question. This isn't a troll question. What white rappers is Macklemore better than?
I can't think. I'm gonna say to Macklemore for Ray's point though. They did get a song in WWE 2K15. So I mean, hey,
Which one?
Can't Hold Us.
Okay, that is probably their best song.
Yeah.
Oh, he got that song in the game. So hey, Ray, there's a point for you.
Yeah.
It's 10-9. 10-9.
Well,
He was able to get a takedown in there at the end. Make some face for the judges.
Is Macklemore a better rapper than Fred Durst?
I think so. Yes.
What about you? Think that, Nate?
I'd say yeah. Yeah.
I actually probably give it to Fred Durst slightly more because that song that he had with Method Man.
Yeah, that was a good song. That was a good song.
I don't think Macklemore can make anything as good as that.
Dang.
In Together Now, or the remix to Rollin', because the original version of Rollin'.
Yeah, you're right. I might be selling Fred a little bit short though.
Yeah, because he did a remix with DMX, Redman, and Method Man.
Yeah, you're right.
But yeah, so I'm just trying to like put Macklemore in
his proper context.
in a perspective that's fair to him. But I just because he's not better than Bubba Sparks.
No,
he's not better than Paul Wall. He's definitely not better than Eminem.
Look, R.I.P. He's not better than Mac Miller.
Oh, thank you. You're not better than Mac.
Better than what's his name?
How about this Yellow?
Better than G-Eazy.
Ooh.
Who's D-Eazy?
Oh, he's from the Bay.
Okay, yeah. Right.
Yeah, he got
D-Eazy or G-Eazy?
G-Eazy.
Y'all remember that dude Idea, and I think his name was
I think I remember.
Yeah. Like I'm used to like, because the thing I hate the most about Macklemore is when he's not better than Mac Miller either.
Yeah, I said that. Yeah, he ain't better than Mac. R.I.P. Hold on, I got a win for you, Ray. I think I got a win for Ray. I got a win for Ray. Macklemore is better than Iggy Azalea.
Oh God!
Take the win.
Any of those 2010 suburban white girl rappers?
Is he better than Bad Barbie?
Is he better than Bad Barbie?
Hey,
disrespect.
Hey, hear me when I say this to you.
What you got, Gerard? What you got?
With Bad, with her and Tory Lanez, if you can get past the Tory Lanez drama, listen to that song, the beat go crazy and Tory's verse go kind of crazy. And if you cannot think of Catch Me Outside with that, then you won't. It's a good song to me. Like it's got nice little bop, it's got some bass to it.
When the first thing that come out your mouth,
hitting potholes, the cruising down the street with.
The first thing that come out your mouth is the beat go crazy. You know that rapper is trash. Stop that.
I'm not looking for her lyrical ability.
But the beat go crazy
is a good song. I'm not gonna. Macklemore has some like good songs, songs that I'll like. If he comes on the radio, I'll leave it on the song. But he's not like
nicer than me.
That doesn't make him a good rapper. It makes it like you got, and anybody can have a good song if you got like a catchy beat. If you got the Neptunes on the motherfucker, or you got one of those like Timbaland. Timbaland turned Justin Timberlake into like a black artist for like 3 years, Like, I mean, that's how valuable a producer is to an artist, And I will say Macklemore's got a couple things like that,
Like I said, that can't hold us down. That's a good song, Ray. I think we all can agree that's a good song, right?
Yeah, I say that too. I'll give it that.
Let's end on that. Let's agree on that.
Let's agree on that. Hey, Ray, you've been a good sport, sticking up for your man's Macklemore. But if you are offended by any of this, like actually offended, Ray, we're sorry. But cry me a river. Ray is like, I don't get paid enough for this nonsense.